live that I made in Portuguese, okay? I hope you are so good. I'm a bit with a bit influenza, but I'm good now. Last days I was with fever, and I think that this vaccination from COVID must we have nothing more. We will have a simple flu influenza. Now we only get the strong influenza. The level are so high now. Oh my God. Pain here, pain and great, horrible. Then continue to read Spirits book, second book, first chapter. Continue this. Can spirit regress? No. As they progress, they gain an understanding of what is holding them back from perfection. When a spirit finishes a particular trio, it never forgets the knowledge it acquired. The Empress, the company of God is marvelous. We start simple and ignorant and finish pure and high level. Only this company made this. The God company. Again, I put the finger and this go to start of book. My God, chapter 1, chapter 2. No, part 2. Part 2, the spiritual word of the word of, or the word of spirits. The origin and nature of spirits I made, the primitive normal word I made, the form of ubiquity of spirits I made. The perispirit is a body of spirit that unify body with soul. It's perispirit. The different orders of spirit, the spirit hierarchy I made, and the progression of spirits. Now I continue. Page 133 in English Book of Spirits. Page 133. I don't will forget. If I lose again, I return in this page 133. Then don't play with me. Sometimes we can talk clear. See this. Benevolent is levels of spirit, first order, pure spirits. I read this, the progression of the spirits I read. And I will start back, a bit back. Good God. when a spirit finishes a particular trail, is never forget the knowledge it acquired. A spirit may remain stationary, but it never regresses. In a body of animal, in a body of a dog, no, it don't can be. If a spirit are transformed in animal in other dimension, it's not really spirit regress. No, it is a transformation, a bad transformation from other spirits, bad spirits, up on this spirit that made some bad to other. It's a it's a I forgot the name of this. When you want fight against other that make bad to you, is this. Then other spirit transform psyche form, not real. Transform this in animal. It's the only case that I know that is possible. You see a spirit with form in animal, because the spirit don't regress to animal. Have religions that say this, but in the spirit, this that spirits, high spirits, informed us don't have this. Why God would make with a being that have rationality, have intelligence, made instruments to it, will return to it with in floor, with eat food in floor, eat only with this party of body. God don't make this. You don't regress when you learn something. In spirit, you don't regress. Could God exempt the spirits from the trials that are required of them to reach the first order? If they had, answer, if they had been created already perfect, they would not serve to enjoy the benefits of that perfection. Where would the merit be without the struggle? Besides, inequality among them is necessary for their personalities to develop, while the missions entrusted to them in the variations degrees of hierarchy reside in the designs of providence for ensuring the harmony of the universe. Kardec's note: since it's possible for everyone in societal life to reach the highest position, we might just as easily ask why sovereigns of countries don't make generals of every one of their soldiers, why all entry-level employees are not made supervisors, or why all students are not professors. There is, however, one distinct difference between social life and spiritual life, in that the former is limited and doesn't always allow everyone to reach the highest degree, whereas the latter is unlimited and assures everyone the possibility of reaching the highest position. What I finished to say. Must all spirits pass through the trial of evil to reach the good? Not evil, but ignorance. Why have some spirits ignorance? It's not evil. Ignorance is don't know something. Uh, Evil or good spirit choose in all degrees, since the first until the last. Why have some spirits follow at the path of the good, but others the path of evil? Uh, don't they have free will? The spirit asked from to Kardec. Don't they have free will? God doesn't create any spirits evil from the start. Pay attention. They are created simple and ignorant, that is capable of both good and evil. Those who are evil have become so through their own will, not will from God. Never. All their origin, how the spirit's free to choose between good and evil when they are not yet self-aware. Is there some inner principle or tendency that leads them more toward one side than the other? Answer. Free will develops as the spirit acquires self-awareness. There would be no actual choice if it were made by a cause extraneous to the spirit's will. The cause is not within the spirit, but outside the influence to which it yields in virtue of its free will. This is the great symbol of the fall of humankind and origin sin. Some yielded to temptation, others resisted it. This is the great symbol of the fall of humankind and original sin. Some yielded to temptation, others resisted it. Where do the influence that act upon the spirits come from? From the imperfected spirits who seek to involve and dominate them, and who delight in making them succumb. This is what it represented in the allegory of Satan. Does this influence act on a spirit? Only when it first comes into being. It follows the spirit over the course of its existence until it has acquired so much self-control that evil spirits don't bother it any longer. Why does God allow spirits to follow the path of evil? Then spirits make this in Kardec. How do you dare ask God to give account for the divine acts? Do you think you can delve into God's will? Instead, you should say that God's wisdom is found in the freedom of choice that has been granted to each spirit, so that each one may have the merit of its own deeds. There are spirits who follow the path of the absolute good from the beginning, while others follow the path of absolute evil. Aren't there gradations between these two streams? Yes, certainly. They are the paths of the vast majority. The vast majority of spirits are in the middle, in the supreme evil until supreme good, and middle is the, the vast. Aren't there gradation between these two streams? A great majority is in gradation. Will those spirits who follow the path of evil be able to arrive at the same degree of elevation as the others? Yes, but the eternities will be much longer for them. We must note from Kardec, we must understand the expression eternities to mean the way in which imperfect spirits regard the perpetuity of their sufferings, whose end they aren't allowed to foresee. This belief in renewed every time they succumb to a trio. Its God side are the spirits who reach the highest degree after having passed through evil less meritorious than the others. God looks upon those who have gone astray with the same regard and loves all of them in the same way. They are called evil because they have succumbed. Before that, they were nothing more than simple spirits. Are all spirits created equal with regards to their intellectual faculties? Answer: they are all created equal, but since they don't know where they come from, they must develop their free will. They progress in both intelligence and morality at different rates. Note from Kardec: spirits who follow the path of the good from the beginning are not therefore perfect of it. Although they have no evil tendencies, they must still acquire the necessary experience and knowledge needed for perfection. We could compare them to children who must develop and learn no matter how good their natural instincts are. They don't suddenly go from infants to adulthood without a transition. Just as there are individuals who are good from childhood and others who are evil, there are spirits who are good or evil from the start, but with a crucial difference that a child possesses its instincts already formed, whereas a spirit is neither evil nor good as its formation. Rather, it has both tendencies, taking one direction or the other in virtue of its own free will. Angels and demons. Do the beings we call angels, archangels, and seraphim form a special category that is different in nature from that of the other spirits? No, these are the pure spirits, those at the highest degree of the hierarchy inwardly perfect in every way. The word angel usually roses the idea of moral perfection. However, it's frequently applied to all beings, good or evil, that are beyond the human sphere. We say a good angel, a bad angel, or angel of light and angel of darkness. In this case, the term is synonymous with spirit and it is used here to refer to the good beings. Have the angels also passed up through all of the grids? Answer: they have passed up through all of them. But as we have already said, some accepted their mission without grumbling and thus were able to arrive more quickly. Others took a longer or shorter amount of time to reach perfection. If the opinion holding that there are beings that were created perfect and superior to all others from the start is erroneous, note from kardec this, how does one explain their presence in the traditions of nearly all futures? Is an answer. If the opinion 130 number of this question, if the opinion holding that there are beings that were created perfect and superior to all others from the start is erroneous, how does one explain their presence in the traditions of nearly all cultures? Answer: you need to understand that your word has not existed from all eternity. No have a start. Or some scientists explain this how a explosion and that long, but starts this planet, not universe, this explosion. Okay? You need to understand that your word has not existed from all eternity, and that long before it existed, there were already spirits of the highest degree. Hence, people assume they have always been perfect. It's an ignorance, our ignorance. And think, God never stopped create. Imagine how billions and zillions of good spirits are in the universe. If there were demons, are there demons in the usual sense of the word? If there were demons, follow the dot. Follow the way of dot. Logical dot. If there were demons, they would nevertheless be the work of God. Because God is the principal, God is the first beyond universe. Okay? God created universe, but He ever existed. We don't can understand. If there were demons, they would nevertheless be a work of God. But would God be just and good in creating unfortunate beings that are eternally turned towards evil? Why God would make this? If there are demons, they reside on your less evolved world and on other similar ones. They are the hypocritical men and women who portray a just God as an evil and vindictive one. They are those who imagine they can please God by the abominable behaviors they commit in divine name. Uh, note Kardec's note only needs modern meaning does demon, the word demon, imply the idea of evil spirits because the Greek word daimon, Greek word daimon, from which it derives means genius or intelligence and applies to all good or evil incorporeal beings without distinction. It's a Greek word, generally represent incorporeal beings, good or evil. According to the common meaning of the word, demons are essentially malevolent entities, but like everything else, they would have to be one of God's creations. God is supremely just and good, and could not have created beings predisposed to evil by their very nature and condemned from eternity. On the other hand, if they were not one of God's works, they would be eternal like God, in which case there would be many sovereign powers. The first condition for every doctrine is that it be logical. Therefore, in its absolute meaning to doctrine of demons lacks this essential point. In the beliefs of less evolved cultures that don't understand the attributes of God, it's conceivable. Oh my God. Again, I lose it where I was reading. Part 2, chapter 4, 5, I don't know. Oh my God. One, three, three. Again, glossary. Number of babes. Again. Sorry. General Natal User. No. Chapter 2, 133. 138. My God. Do you like my God, my voice? Oh my God, it's cause severe influenza. I search now. Only on its modern meaning does the word demon imply the idea of evil spirits because the Greek word daimon. According to the common meaning of the word, demons are essentially malevolent entities, but like everything else, they would have to be one of God's creation. God's God is supremely just and good and could not have created beings predisposed to evil by their very nature and condemned for eternity. My God, it would be so bad. On the other hand, if they were not one of God's works, they would be eternal like God. On the other hand, if they were not one of God's works, if they exist together with God in saying eternal evil, eternal good, they would be eternal like God, in which case there would be many sovereign powers. The first condition for every doctrine is that it is be logical. High spirits have total control from law down spirits. I remember this in a medium's book when Kardec asked to a bad spirit, please jump, jump these stones in me, Kardec said. And spirit said, I don't can cause your angel don't permit this. When I read this in these times, finally I understand that we don't have to be afraid with evil spirits. If we have ever asking angels, archangels to protect us, if we ever are talking with God, our Creator, we don't must be afraid from the bad. Only make be afraid who is evil, this person and this spirit have be afraid so much. The first condition from every doctrine is the logical therefore. In its absolute meaning, the doctrine of demons lacks this essential point. In the beliefs are less evolved cultures that don't understand the attributes of God, it's conceivable that alongside their evil deities, they also believe in the existence of demons. Nevertheless, for those who accept the goodness of God as an attribute par excellence, it would negate the divine goodness and be beings. It would negate the divine goodness and be illogical and contradictory to suppose that God would have created beings dedicated to evil and destined to indulge in it forever. Proponents of demons find support in the words of Christ, and we will certainly not contest the authority of his teachings. We would like to see them more in individuals' hearts than on their lips. It's a note from Kardec. But can they be certain of the meaning he attributed to the word demon? After all, we not know that the allegorical form is one of the characteristics characteristics of his language. In time of Christ and with his language, demon would have other concept than today. But Christ don't can use it in those times. Some ideas, because the thoughts of people from those times was so small, and they would not comprehend what Christ was taught. After all, do we not know that the allegorical form is one of the characteristics of language of Christ? Should everything contained in the Gospels be taken literally? It's a question. We need no further proof beyond this passage. Immediately after those days of affliction, the sun shall be darkened, the moon shall not give its light, the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Verily, have a note here from Kardec. In the book Heaven and Hell, Part 1, Chapter 9, Kardec deals at length with the Church's traditional view that the demons and Satan were formerly a group of angels of light to subsequently rebelled against God, fell from grace and turned to evil. Here the author is simply concerned with presenting a brief sketch of the spiritist view of what demons in fact are. Immediately after those days of affliction, the sun shall be darkened. This is a passage of Bible. This generation shall not pass away before all these things are fulfilled. Have we not seen the form of the biblical test contradicted by science, where it refers to the creation and movement of the earth? It's a question. Could it not be the same regarding certain figurative expressions employed by Christ, who had to speak according to the time and region in which he found himself? It's another question from Kardec. Christ could not have consciously made an erroneous statement. Therefore, if in his words there are things that seem to contradict reason, it's either because we have not understood them or because we have wrongly interpreted them. Humans have treated demons the same as they have treated angels. Just as they have believed in the existence of beings perfect from all eternity, and they have also taken the least evolved spirits as beings who will be evil forever. The word demon should therefore be understood as referring to impure spirits, who often are no better than the beings normally designated by that name, but with this difference: their state is only temporary. Pay attention, their state of all spirits and the demons are only temporary. They are the imperfect spirits who protest against their trio, and as a result, they will have to endure them for a long time. Nevertheless, they will finally arrive at perfection after having made the decision to do so. We might accept the term demon with the restriction, but because it's generally understood according to its exclusive meaning nowadays, it would lead to error and give credence to the belief in the existence of beings existence of beings created especially for evil. As for Satan, it's obvious that he is the personification of evil in allegorical form because it's impossible to believe in a malevolent being who fights on pair against the divinity. Yesterday I saw a film this way. Fight against God and demon. It don't exist only in this film. And create the name of movie. A fool loved by God. God and his fool adored. Oh, one thing is, I forgot the name, but you can see this film in Netflix. It's good to distraction, but it's good to enjoy only. But it's not real. Those not real. Since humans need a mate, and the more interesting, who you think was figure of demon was a beautiful blonde girl. Poor blonde woman in the world. Divinity and whose sole concern is to contravene good design. All materialist movie. As for Satan, it's obvious that he is the personification of evil in allegorical form because it's impossible to believe in a malevolent being who fights on par against the divinity, please, and whose sole concern is to contravene good God's designs. It would be possible, demons and God the same. The word was so much more horrible than today. I don't would be here talking about this. Was war in all places, all lands. It would be in war if divinity and evil the same. No, it's not have logical. Analyze what are around. Since humans need images and figures to impress their imagination, they have depicted incorporeal beings with material forms, and endowed with attributes that portray their qualities or defects. thus is wishing to personify time. The ancients picture it as an old man with a city with a side and an hourglass. In this case, it would have been contrary to common sense to portray time as a youth. The same was true of the allegories of fortune, truth, etc. In modern times, humans represent the angels or pure spirits as radiant beings with white wings, symbolizing purity, while they portray Satan with horns, claws, and other bestial attributes symbolizing the passions. Common folk who are prone to take the things literally see real entities in these symbols, just as they formerly regarded Saturn as the allegory of time. Now start the incarnation of the spirits, the purpose of the incarnation, the soul. I will start chapter 2 now because I will start in Portuguese. And this will be yet made. Let me see. So much pages. Materialism. So good. This lecture. So I will start only the. No, I will read only start. Chapter 2. From book 2. The incarnation of spirits. The purpose of incarnation. What is the purpose of the incarnation of spirits? God imposed incarnation for the purpose of leading spirits to perfection. For some, it's an expiation. For others a mission. However, in order to reach this perfection, they must undergo all the vicissitudes of corporeal existence. Therein lies their expiation. Incarnation has a further objective, which is to place spirits in situations where they can do their share in the work of creation. On each word, they clothe themselves with an instrument that is in harmony with the essential matter of the word, so that they may use that instrument to carry out the orders of God. In this way, they contribute to the general work and progress at the same time. The action of corporeal beings is necessary for evolution. It's a note from Kardec. The action of corporeal beings is necessary for the evolution of the universe. But out of divine wisdom, God has willed that in the same action, they might have a means of progressing and drawing near to good. Thus, through an admirable law of divine providence, everything is connected and everything is nature is in solidarity. Question 133. Is incarnation necessary for spirits who have followed the path of the good from the beginning? All are created simple and ignorant, gaining instruction through the struggles and the tribulations of corporeal life. Since God is just, God would not make some blissful without their having deserved it through hardship and work. But then what benefit is there for spirits to follow the path of the good if it doesn't exempt them from the hardships of corporeal life? Answer: they reach the goal. They reach the goal more quickly. Moreover, the hardships of life are often consequence of the spirit's imperfections. The more purified it becomes, the fewer torments it will have to suffer. The spirits who are not envious, jealous, greedy, or ambitious will not have to endure the torments that result from such defects. Envious, jealous, greedy, or ambitions. People make confusion with ambitions, with have desire to get more perfection, more happiness. In resume, all people want more happiness. Not successful, not, it depends. Successful can signify to one people a hell, and for other a paradise. Then all people want happiness, but he are put ambitions in the bad way to get things ambitions. It's the word to this person that don't want know how he will get what he wants. If necessary, to ambitious people, he will kill to get what they want. This is ambitious. But aspiring to high level of material things, high level of wisdom, high level of intellectuality, aspire. This is good, but he spirits put envious, jealous, greedy, or ambitions will not have to endure the torments that result from such defects. Ambitious, it's put here how a defect, not good aspirations. It's contrary, okay? It's only words. Use it wrong. What is the soul? The soul, other term. What is the soul? 134 ask. Answer: an incarnated spirit. When we are in body, we are soul. When we are out of body, we are spirit. Are souls and spirits therefore one and the same thing? Yes. Souls are no more than spirits before uniting with a body. The soul is one of the intelligent beings who populate the and it later temporarily assumes a physical envelope in order to purify and enlighten itself. Do human beings possess something else besides a soul and body? The link that unites the soul and the body, or spirit. What is the nature of this link? Is the semi-material. Perispirit is the link to spirit and with body. Is the semi-material, halfway between the nature of the spirit and that of the body. These two natures needed in order to communicate with each other. It's through this link that spirits act upon matter and contrary, vice versa. Think one thing. When you don't have body, how I can hear the spirit without vocal cords? They don't can. Only with a medium with a special capacity to hear the spirit can make this. Or a spirit communication with minds, mind to mind, but not down spirits. They don't can make this. High spirits can talk by dots. Bad spirits, so down spirits, only can hear what I'm reading now. They can hear. Only this way, if I make this, they don't will can get it. Only high spirits. What is the nature of this link? A perispirit. It's the same material halfway between the nature of the spirit and that of the body. These two natures needed in order to communicate with each other. It's through this link that the spirit acts upon matter and vice versa. Human beings thus consist of three essential parts. The three essential parts is not a question. It's a affirmation. Human beings thus consist of three essential parts. One, the body on or material being similar to that of the animals and animated by the same vital principle. The vital principle, all are using, animals using too, and plants. The soul are in yes, the vital principle that gives life to vegetable. The soul are incarnate spirit which inhabits the body. The soul or incarnate spirit is the same, which inhabits the body. The perispirit or intermediary principle, a semi-material substance that serves as the primary envelope of the spirit and unites the soul with the body. These three together are like a fruit which consists on the seed, the flesh, and the rind. Body, soul, and perispirit. Three. The number three is ever used it's a divine number. Father, Son, and Saint Spirit, God, Spirit, and matter, body, soul, and perisprit. I will finish here because I'm not so good with this influence. I don't went to swim all these days. I hope it's I will be better and next week. I hope. It's not more normal influenza today. It's different. It's so much strong. Then we pay attention. We must have to this body vitamins, not only from food. No supplement is necessary. Pay attention. Make this with you and your child and your son and daughter. Make this is not for joke this situation. And then I stop it in question 135. I hope you have a good final week and stay with God. Bye. Until the next. Hello, Jokini. I hope you are good. I saw your photo in hospital. I ask for God and spiritual doctors. They can help you if you have faith. Bye. Thank you for seeing the live. Bye.